We have an interview today with Simon Lenton. Simon is part of our evening congregation, but it sometimes comes to a bit of both. And the reason why I've decided to get you interviewed today, Simon, is because, you've been at Narrabeen for, I suppose, a short period of time, and a lot of that time has been the strange and uncertain times that we're now living in. Something that's really stood out to me is that you've managed to integrate yourself quite well despite the strangeness going on. I just thought it'd be a good chance to show your face so people can get to know a little bit about you. So thank you very much for joining us. KFC or McDonald's?
Oh, Macca's every day of the week. And I literally mean every day.
Pizza or butter chicken?
Well, having a bit of an Italian origin, I'd have to go with pizza.
Cool. Burrito or sushi?
Depends on the day of the week. But if I'm feeling like I've had too many burritos, I'll go with sushi. Yep.
Sweet. Cat or dog? Now, this isn't food related anymore, but
I was going to say, with or without soy sauce. Dog.
Dog. Cool. If there was a movie made about your life, who would you get to play you?
Oh, goodness. I think it would have to be, I've been told I resemble a little bit that wonderful actor, Nicolas Cage. But,
right.
Maybe hopefully as a younger version. Otherwise, if I had to choose an actor that I really like, I'd have to be, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's just brilliant. Such a long...
I'm sure most blokes would be happy for Leo to play them in a movie as well. And what do you do for work?
I work as a corporate lawyer for a financial technology company. So we're just out of the startup phase, so it's still a very young company. Work very closely with the founders, and basically just look after all their legal work and also run the operations for them. So sort of as a bit of a number two to the founder, which is always breakneck speed and really exciting and treacherous at times, but certainly keeps you on my toes.
So now how long have you been at NBC?
I've been at NBC sort of consistently since about December of last year. I was actually living in London last year for work, and then came here for work for a work trip in December, and then was sort of caught here because of COVID.
And so why have you chosen NBC? Why call us home?
I think previously when I was in Sydney, I lived in the northwest of Sydney, and I would travel to the city to a church. And I thought, whilst that was really lovely, I'd love to have a church that was local, that I can get more involved in on a day-to-day basis or a regular basis. And I had some family who attended NBC a while ago, and I met a few people through NBC, and they spoke highly of it. So I thought I'd come along and check it out, and here I've remained.
Yeah, cool. And what's caused you to stick around, I suppose? That's why you rocked up here, but any particular reasons you've stuck around?
I think predominantly it's the sense of solid community. Being involved in a Bible study group was key, and that's kind of what I was quick to get into, I guess, as the real glue that keeps you in the church and helps you develop those friendships and relationships, and allows you to be a bit more engaged and a bit more interactive on a regular basis. So what's kept me here is largely that the Bible study group, which I really enjoy with Daniel and Mia Leach, and also the different ways in which the church is really keen to serve each other, and it is very much a church that cares about its members and cares about what's going on with them. And I think COVID has just really emphasised that even more. And so I think I've my desire to stay and to be involved has only grown with COVID.
Oh, that's cool. That's really encouraging to hear, mate. And so you've mentioned community groups. How else have you been involved in the few months that you've been at Narrabeen?
I sort of put up my hand to help out where I could with a couple of meals here and there with those who needed meals, either purchased, because I'm not the best cook, or cooked, and also COVID restrictions. I mean, we can't, or at least we couldn't cook for a time. So that's been good, and I also get to do a bit of a DVD delivery service, which is something that many of the young people probably don't know what a DVD is, but it's a disc that you have a video on, recorded on, and you can deliver it to someone and they can put it in a machine and play it and watch it. And so these are for those members of our community who don't have access to the internet, and so who can't watch the weekly services on YouTube. And so I drop off those DVDs to them each week, and they can watch them.
That's hugely practical and a real blessing. Simon was doing it for Pippi before she moved away, and only for a few weeks, I suppose, wasn't it? And Jim Thorpe now gets a DVD delivered each week, and it's been a great way for him to be connected. He feels very loved and part of the community. And the meals too. We appreciate that. There's been a lot of babies born, a lot of people in need of a meal lately, and so it's cool to see the way you've injected yourself into that. Over the years you've been a Christian, which I understand has been a lot of your life growing up in a Christian home. What have you learned about the importance of Christian community?
I mean, it's such a big question. I think a few points to make would be that I think in a Christian community, like any community in any part of one's life, is essential for, I guess, the richness of expression, to see an expression of what people believe and what they actually stand for. You see that come out and come alive, and you see the breadth of variety of different ways in which people express their faith through service, through prayer, through reading together, through encouragement. Normal life, secular life, is not easy. And if COVID has taught us anything, it's that we undervalue community. And so I think the Christian life is oftentimes harder, and so even more reason for us to be in community. I think the Bible talks a lot about the benefits of community. I believe that as it says, where two or three are gathered in God's name, He's there with them. So I think something happens when there's a group of people pulled together who believe the same thing and call on God together. I also think that the blessings that we want to receive from God and that we ask of Him, including for Him to reveal Himself and to talk to us, I think those things are actually experienced and received and administered through community. That's why I think it's very hard to be a Christian on one's own. And so, throughout my life, I think when I I guess really made the decision to commit to the Lord was when I was a Christian still, but in isolation. A Christian in ISO, a COVID Christian, you could say. And I was crying out to the Lord to show Himself to me, and I was demanding things of Him. And it struck me one day that how could I possibly demand those things if I wasn't willing to seek them out in a place where He has told us He will reveal Himself. So I went along to church, to community in Sydney, and it was there that I really grew, and I saw the richness of the various expressions of people's faith. Was deeply encouraged, and I'm still amazed that I am a Christian today. But I think that it was because of that community and because of God's graciousness through His people and through His church that I've remained.
Yeah, wow, that's great wisdom. Super encouraging as well. We are designed as Christians to be as a part of a community, and to hear that that's very much your experience. It's a blessing. And we want to thank you. Thank you for being interviewed today. The reason why we're doing it over Zoom, in case you're wondering, is because Simon's just returned from Victoria. He has no symptoms. He's not unwell, but he's responsible. And because of his love for community, he's blessing people by staying locked up in a room as he's been instructed to. So thank you for that, Simon. But thanks for joining us, and thank you for the way you've been blessing us so far. If you want to see Simon in the flesh, you might bump into him in one of our services. So register online, rock up, and come and say good day. But thank you, Simon. God bless you, mate, and we appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us today.
Thanks, Kip.